of this workshop is to find out where our time is going, how much time we actually have in the day, and then introduce you to a time management strategy and technique called calendar blocking or time blocking. We're going to help you create a better schedule for studying and healthy routines. A quick overview of what we'll be going over today. We're going to start with an icebreaker. There's that interactive part that I just mentioned. We're going to do a brief introduction to calendar blocking and time blocking. And then we're going to find out where our time goes. And then I'll teach you how to use calendar blocking with Outlook Calendar. So first, the icebreaker, just go ahead and drop your answers in the chat. What are your primary time management struggles? What gets in the way of your studies? And where do you think your time is going? Feel free to drop that in the chat, especially the third one. You can answer any of the three. The third one we will be asking again later. For me, I scroll through YouTube too much. Miss A's primary struggle is TikTok. Sometimes I use my phone during schoolwork. My primary struggle is procrastination. But I'm very great at it, so I figure as long as I continue to be great at procrastinating and great at school, the two can continue to mix well together. And that's one of the things that this method that I'm about to introduce to you today will target. And let's keep it going then. So first, we're going to talk about calendar blocking. What is calendar blocking? Calendar blocking is when you dedicate blocks of your time for tasks, events, activities that are in your life, and then you schedule them with your calendar. So this is different from time blocking. Time blocking would just be taking time out of your day for your tasks and events and activities in your life and planning that way. What makes it different from calendar blocking is you take those blocks of time and you put it on your calendar. So the same, but slightly different. So from now on, I'm going to call it calendar blocking. An example of calendar blocking is the picture on the slide. This is a picture from Google Calendar, and you can see this person color-coded their schedule throughout the day, and all of their time is completely blocked up from the moment they have breakfast all the way until they wrap up their work. And it's also very detailed. I'd call this person an expert in calendar blocking. Not like myself, and not necessarily like us at the end of this workshop. By the end of this workshop, you'll know how to create a schedule like this, but not necessarily so booked up. We need our free time, we need our self-care time, and we need time to fall asleep in bed, not doing our work. We also need time to just sit and think about things. Like consider reading a book or play video games. Not every day has to be planned out to the T. So how is calendar blocking beneficial to students? For one, it can help you figure out where your time goes. It can help you create efficient and healthy routine. It can help you create a study schedule, and it brings a little consistency to your life. Have you ever been one that just couldn't keep up with a planner? Like you would find the motivation to go out and buy one or make one yourself, and then you would just fall off some time through. So here's that interactive part again. How many of you need a planner in your life? Like your life just does not work without one. And then how many of you can't keep up with a planner? You start with one and then you find yourself not using it. And then how many of you find yourself doing both? You need a planner, but you just can't keep up with one. So just type in the chat. You need a planner in your life, can't keep up with one, or you need both. Miss Alexander says she needs a planner. So I find myself in the both category too. I thought if I started making my own planners that I would want to keep up with them. Unfortunately, and fortunately, since I make them myself, they work for me. But I don't always keep up with them either. The specialty in this method is it's for everyone. Whether you need a planner in your life or you just can't keep up with it, or both. And it's good if you have multiple planners too, because it combines them all into one. This isn't going to be your average planner where you write down what assignments are due necessarily, although it can be for that purpose. Its primary purpose, like this workshop, is to find out where your time goes. So now we're going to get into the where does my time go activity. By the end of the activity, your calendar should look something like this. This is my calendar from this week. It doesn't necessarily look like this now as of today because I took this picture on Tuesday, but this is calendar blocking. This is how I know when and where to go and why I'm going there. I once showed my calendar to someone and they said, "Wow, you look really busy." I'm like, I see this and I see a lot of open space, a lot of time to do other things. And I hope by the time we finish with this workshop, you'll be able to see the space in your calendar too. To start, we're going to make a list of all of your daily activities and see how long it takes you to complete them. So take 5 minutes and you can put some of your answers in the chat. This list here are some of my daily activities. I sleep, hopefully for 9 hours, otherwise I'm not a very nice person. I take 2 hours for my morning routine. I take 1 hour for meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My classes generally are 50 minutes long. My work schedules are 4 hours on certain days. My activities include working out for 1 hour. I'm also in orgs and clubs. As Ms. Alexander said, I am the president of NOBLE, the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement and Executives. I take 1 hour for that sometimes on a daily, sometimes not daily. I take 4 hours a day for self-care, 2 hours a day for studying, and 2 hours for my night routine. So these are just some examples. Take some time, we'll come back together, and I'll show you how to use the list you just made. Feel free to drop any of your answers in the chat. Try to do at least one so we can keep the chat flowing. For Miss A, she works about 8 to 10 hours a day. Okay, and I'm going to ask you one more question. Drop it in the chat. Do you consider yourself a morning person or a night person or both? Yes, you can be both. So continue on. This is the portion where I'm going to teach you how to calendar block in Outlook. And so the reason I asked you if you were a morning or night person is because your time blocking is going to look a little different depending on whether you're a morning or a night person. I'm going to use my schedule as an example to teach you how to calendar block in Outlook. You can calendar block in any digital calendar, for example, Google Calendar. My preference is Apple Calendar because I use Outlook and Google Calendar, and Apple brings them all together into one. But we're going to be working through Outlook today because the university pays for us to have Microsoft Suite, meaning access to all of the Microsoft apps and softwares. All you have to do is go into Microsoft.com, log in with your DSU email information, and then download from the web. So this is my Outlook calendar. And as you can see, it doesn't look like the picture from before because it just has my Outlook things. In Outlook, I keep my school and my work in Outlook. Work meaning my job as a student success assistant, for example, right now, and my job as a peer academic coach. To start, we're going to do a little blank slate. So if you can see my cursor on the left-hand side, you can see my calendars. These colors are folders, essentially. And if I click the red check mark, my work calendar is. So essentially, how we're going to organize your calendar is with folders. So I'm going to start with a very basic thing. I'm going to call it morning routine. We should all have a morning routine, so this might go on everyone's calendar. And then I'm going to change the color to cayenne. As you see, I already have meals, morning routine. Let's add another folder. We're going to call it night routine. So essentially, this is going to be the different colors we saw on the calendar before. And this is how you're going to distinguish visually what is what. So my meals are green, my morning routine is cayenne, my night routine is gray, and I'm going to make one more folder, and I'm going to make it for one of my classes. I have contract law, and I'm going to leave that one red. So let's go ahead and get started in putting everything onto the calendar. Oh, wait, there's one more I wanted to add. We should all be doing this. Unfortunately, it's not as common as we may think, but sleep. Sleep is very important. It's so important that I'm putting it on the calendar. And as I said, I like to get 9 hours of sleep. You can either right-click and click New Event, or click on the New Event box over here, and it'll bring up this new box. And in it, I'm going to type sleep. And then I'm going to put my bedtime, which is 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. And then we're going to click that it repeats daily and repeat no end date. save, and then you'll see that from now on, sleep is repeated throughout the entire calendar. And now we're going to do the same thing for the morning time, essentially putting how long you sleep for. I wake up at 6 a.m. because I'm a morning person. And this repeats daily. It does not end. So now you can see how much time you have between when you wake up and when you go to sleep. Alright, so now when you first wake up, you probably have some sort of morning routine. I know I do. So I'm going to put morning routine. My morning routine consists of waking up, wishing I didn't have to get out of bed, then actually getting out of bed, getting some coffee. Sometimes I read. Sometimes I play my favorite video game. I try not to look at my phone. And then we're going to change our calendar. So currently our calendar says sleep. We're going to change it to morning routine. And my morning routine is from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. And this repeats every day. And it doesn't end. And then after my morning routine, I eat breakfast. So just put in breakfast, change the calendar to meals. And then I eat from 7 to 7:30. And it can become a tedious process, but once you do it once, you don't have to do it again. You may edit your calendar, but essentially these things, if you like consistency and you wake up the same time every day, or if you can wake up the same time every day, it should look always the same. Okay, so now my contract law class starts at 9 a.m. on Mondays. So it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. So I'll start it over here. The next thing I'll put on the calendar is a new work folder. So work.
So Tamara, while you're doing that, somebody has a question. It says, how do you get the dark mode in the calendar?
Okay, it's in your settings. So do you have a Mac or a PC?
PC.
A PC. It's generally in your settings, and I've never turned it to dark mode on that PC, so it's something you may have to Google. I know for Apple devices, Outlook chooses to mimic the device. So I keep all of my devices, my phone, my computer on dark mode, and the app mimics that. It's a setting. So I suggest Google it for your PC. I'm sorry I couldn't answer that directly.
So when you're in Microsoft, the calendar, they literally have like a setting icon, right? It's near your sign-in picture. So it'll be a search box that pops up. When I typed in dark mode, it just came up and I clicked it.
That's really easy and convenient. I wish Macs were like that. Or I should say, I wish Microsoft treated Macs like that. Next on our calendar is work. So my work is Student Success Assistant. I work Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays every day, and mine will end when the semester ends. And save, and then I work from 8 a.m. to 12, and save. And so you see, it automatically put it on my calendar. Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and it repeats throughout the semester. So next, I'll add one of my classes, Contracts Law. I have Contract Law Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 a.m. And then I'll change the calendar to Contracts Law, and it's from 9 to 9:50. This repeats weekly, Mondays and Wednesdays, and it ends on May 6th. Save. And there it is. We're going to repeat all the way into May 6th. And then the last thing I'm going to put on my calendar just for show, because obviously this is not my entire week at a glance, I'm going to put in my night routine. My night routine starts at 7 p.m. And my night routine goes until I go to sleep. And this repeats daily, forever. So now, I was able to put in my night routine at 7 p.m. because theoretically my entire calendar would be filled out and I would know every day at 7 p.m. I don't have class, I don't have anywhere to be unless I wanted to be somewhere. Put my night routine and schedule it for this time every day. And in my night routine, I would take time to do my self-care. If I wanted just to play video games until it was time to go to bed, which is not healthy, and I'm hypothetically not recommending such unless it makes you happy. Or if I wanted to read a book, if I wanted to go for a walk, these things I can do because I now know I'm free from 7 to 8 p.m. So before I leave Outlook, I am going to show you a couple more features. If you look over here to the left, it says week. It's a drop-down box, and this is how you can view your calendar. You view it by day, so I know today, if today were Monday, February 21st, I'd be free between 7:30 and 9 a.m. to go for a walk or to go work out. 3 days at a time, just so you keep it less crowded. Your work week and business day fashion, meaning Monday through Friday instead of Sunday through Saturday. And then the full week, Sunday through Saturday. And then a month view, so you can see everything at once. The month view is pretty good if you're just looking to glance to see when you're available, for example, for a meeting. If someone says, hey, are you free to meet on the 23rd at 3 p.m.? You can really easily see on your calendar, yep, I'm free at 3 p.m. This is just walk-in virtual advising. I don't have any set plans. What's also great with Outlook is when someone sends you an invite from the university, you can see on your calendar if you're free. So this grayed out invitation means someone invited me to an event. I have not accepted or declined yet, but I can see I'm available and it's not conflicting with anything yet. Next to the month view, or next to this drop-down box, I'm going to change it back to week. You'll see this little button here. It's an arrow and it looks kind of weird. This is the task pane. It's very convenient. It lets you see all your upcoming events at a glance. So you can see tomorrow at 8 a.m. I have to work for Miss A. I have a meeting set up, and then no events between Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. It also gives you a quick glance at the month view. Outlook is very easy to look at, it's very easy to navigate, and it's free. Everyone at the universities, from your professors to your advisor, uses it. Anyone from the university sending you an invite to join a Teams meeting, for example, they're going to send it here and you'll be able to accept or deny that you'll be available right here. And conveniently, it's right next to your mailbox. Are there any questions about Outlook? So, some final follow-up questions. Feel free to drop your answers in the chat, or if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to leave your questions in the comments section. Do you now know where your time is going? Do you think calendar blocking is for you? And do you think you will use this method after today? Has this workshop to help your time management? If so, how? This concludes my presentation. Are there any questions? Feel free to leave a question in the chat, or if you're on YouTube, leave a comment in the comment box. At this time, I like to actually fill out this survey. It helps us to create more videos and workshops geared towards student success. You can put in the survey what you would like to see next, anything else that would help you in your success in your academics here at DSU. You can either scan the QR code on the screen, or if you're watching on YouTube, there is a link in the description box for you to fill out. Thank you everyone for coming and for watching. I hope you were able to take something away from this workshop to help with your time management. Best of luck in your studies. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at OSS Daily and subscribe to our YouTube channel, DSU OSS.